Am I the a-hole for saying no to something my husband's family expects me to do every year? Not the a-hole I, 28F, am 8 months pregnant, and my husband, 29M, and I are thrilled. We've been trying for a while, and it finally happened. My husband comes from a very traditional family. We've disagreed with them before, but it was never really an issue until now. Since I found out I was pregnant, we've been talking about baby names. In his family, there's a tradition where the firstborn sons are always named either James or Henry. His grandfather was James, so my husband is James too. His dad is Henry, so naturally, everyone expects our baby to be Henry. But my husband and I didn't want to do that. Yes, it's a nice way to honor family history, but we wanted something personal, something just for our child. We picked a name we both love, one that feels like his and his alone. We agreed not to tell anyone the name until the baby is born. This week, my mill came over to help us set up for the baby. She brought gifts, including baby clothes she hand-embroidered with the name Henry on them. I thanked her, but gently reminded her we weren't naming the baby Henry, like we told her before. She didn't take it well. She started saying it had to be Henry, that it's family tradition and can't be broken. I explained again that while we respect the tradition, we're choosing a different name. I even said Henry could be the baby's middle name, but she wasn't satisfied. She went straight to my husband and said things like, "You're not going to let her do this to our family, are you?" And made it very dramatic, acting like I was destroying some sacred legacy. She even claimed this tradition goes back hundreds of years, which who knows. My husband tried to calmly explain that this was a mutual decision and that we weren't doing it to upset anyone, but she wouldn't hear it. She then suggested we name him Henry legally, but call him something else in everyday life. I said no, that would only confuse the kid. Finally, after more begging, guilt-tripping, and passive-aggressive comments, I snapped. I told her, yeah, maybe it's the hormones, but this is our child, and we're going to name him what we want. I called the tradition stupid and said we didn't have to follow it. She stormed out. Later, my husband started getting texts from his father and sister saying I hurt his mom's feelings, that I was selfish, and some other things I honestly don't even remember at this point. I understand that tradition can be meaningful, and I'm not against it, but I don't think we should feel obligated to follow it just because it's expected. Our child should have a name that comes from us, not pressure or guilt. We're not changing the name, we're happy with it, but now I'm exhausted, hormonal, and wondering, am I the a-hole?